Hi, Logo Dragon Lady here. Not too long ago, I did a Blue Eyes deck profile using the new updated Blue Eyes support from Battle of Chaos. So I figured it's been a while since I've done a combo video, so I'm going to show you the combos the deck is capable of and all the options that it gives you. I'm working with limited room, so please bear with me. So let's give this deck a good shuffle. Okay, and let's see what our opening hand is. So we're going to assume that we're going first, okay? So we have a Foolish Burial, Freed Rand, Winds of Mischief, Blue Eyes, Sage of Oz, a Blue Eyes Alt, and a White Stone. So this gives us numerous options. So let's go ahead and activate Foolish Burial. So we sent a monster from our deck to the grave. So the one I wanted to use at this point is the White Stone Legend, because once it's the grave, we have to add a Blue Eyes White Dragon to our hand. And right away, we can go ahead and use the effect of Blue Eyes Alt, Reveal, and out onto the field he comes. Now, here's the interesting thing. We can go into our extra deck with a lot of options. We go into XE monsters, we go into Synchro. So depends on what your opponent is playing, depends on the options you're going to go into. So seeing that I don't know what my opponent is playing at this point, what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and normal summon the White Stone of the Ancients, and we're going to go ahead and go into a Link 2. We're going to go into Needle Fiber. It requires a monster plus a tuner. And the effect allows me to special summon a tuner from my hand or deck. So let's get another White Stone of the Ancients. Now, if I really want to, I can go ahead and use the Sage of Oz Blue. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's use the Sage of Oz Blue from our hand. We're going to target the egg and special summon a Blue Eyes monster from our deck. And these guys are bunched up. So let's see, let's go ahead with Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, because once he's special summoned, we can add a polymerization to our hand. So that's what I am going to do. This will give us resources for our next turn if we need it. So, okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to pass our turn, because what happens on our opponent's standby phase, we can go ahead and use the effect of Needle Fiber. So Needle Fiber can banish itself. Well, I'm sorry, at the end of the turn, we have 2 eggs. So end phase, let's go ahead and summon some Blue Eyes monsters. Let's get our Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, because once he's on the field, he cannot destroy any cards that I control. And let's go ahead and get out a, well, we don't have any other Blue Eyes cards, so we're gonna just get a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Okay, so we're gonna do a nice shuffle here. All right, now it's our opponent's turn, and then we can use effect of Needle Fiber. So we're gonna banish it, and we can special summon from the Synchron. So once per chain, we can go ahead and use the effect to draw a card. So we're gonna do that, and ooh, we've got the World Legacy Guard Dragon. Really nice. So as our hand, still got Freed Ram, Blue Eyes, Polymerization, and World Legacy. Now we're also going to use the effect to synchro summon into a monster from our extra deck. So this is a level 2, level 8. So we're going to sync off Blue Eyes White Dragon, Synchron, and we're going to go ahead into Baron de Fleur. Baron de Fleur is a headache. It's an Omni-Negate. You can also use the effect to send this to your extra deck, and you can special summon a level 9 or lower monster from your grave. Now, because we had a Blue Eyes White Dragon into the graveyard, Blue Eyes Jet Dragon can take effect. So right now, it doesn't matter. As long as it's in the field, none of your cards can be destroyed except for him. If your opponent were to use an effect that goes through and sends this to the grave, as long as your opponent, you have a Blue Eyes White Dragon in your grave, and your opponent were to destroy something else, he just keeps coming back. And one thing I forgot to mention, during the end phase when he was out, I was supposed to be able to add a level 8. So we're just going to backtrack. These are just combos, we're not an actual duel or anything. So technically we have Nebula Dragon in our hand. Okay. So this is during our opponent's turn. This is what we have. So, okay, let's go to turn 2, assuming our opponent couldn't get through this, or say if they destroyed him, destroy something else, Blue Eyes White Dragon's in the grave, so Blue Eyes White Dragon comes back out. So okay, let's make this into our turn 2. So this is what we have in our hand. We're gonna draw, and oh boy, we have a Chaos Dragon, L'Avenir, World Legacy Guard Dragon, Polymerization. This, oh boy, we have some options here. So what we can do, we have a bunch of light monsters here. So we could banish a combination of our light monsters to take a, let's see, for the light monsters, we can special summon a card into defense position. We can do a lot of damage. So let's go ahead and banish 3 lights. So we don't need Synchron anymore, we don't need the Sacred Ozza Blue anymore, and we don't need our White Stone anymore. So we're going to get out the Chaos Dragon L'Avenir, and we're going to special summon the Blue Eyes Alt. So Blue Eyes Alt is out. We can use the effect to pop a card. So, oh boy. We can overlay into, we can go into number 23, we can go into number 38, we can even go into the zombie vampire. We also have the option to use Nebula Dragon to get out of Blue Eyes, so we can, but you have to be locked into your dragons into this point. Or we can use Polymerization to fusion summon Blue Eyes and Blue Eyes Jet into a Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. If your opponent were to have a trap card, this guy is unaffected by all of that. So yes, this is ridiculous. And the thing is, regardless of what you special summon into, we also have a Feedran in our hand. So for example, if we were to go ahead and use Polymerization to go into a Blue Eyes Tyrant, and if they have numerous cards in defense position, we can normal summon Feedran. Use Feedran's effect to target Blue Eyes Tyrant. He can attack all your monsters and will do piercing damage. And during your opponent's turn, you can use this effect to put one of your opponent's monsters into defense position, and he returns to your hand, ready to go to the next turn. So that was a ridiculous hand. So many options, so many monsters we can get out. So let's go ahead and try another test hand. Okay, let's do a shuffle, shuffle. Okay. Right, 5 cards. So we have Chaos Dragon, L'Avenir, Dictator, Blue Eyes White Dragon, World Legacy Guard Dragon, and a Monster Reborn. Ooh, okay. So again, let's assume that we are going to be going first. So let's use the effect of Dictator of D. So what you can do is you send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to the grave, and you can special summon him to the field. Now, we can also use the secondary effect that if you send a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a card that has Blue Eyes White Dragon into the description, we can send that to the grave and special summon one from the grave. So let's do that. So technically we're just going to send from the hand, and one is revived to the field. So, okay. And we got a Monster Reborn here. So let's use it. Okay, now we have 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons and 1 Dictator of D. Now the great thing about this guy is as long as he's on the field, your opponent, you get to choose which monster your opponent slams into. So they try to attack him, you're gonna force them into a Blue Eyes White Dragon. But we have 2 level 8s here. So let's go ahead and take a chance here. Now we're gonna overlay. You can go into Hope Harbinger, so it will give you a free magic card negate. We can go into Zombie Vampire. You can go into Lancelot, he can attack directly, but he also gives you a free negate. So, or if you want to do a contact fusion without Polymerization, you can go into Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon, but because we're going first, The best options would be either Hope or Zombie Vampire, but let's go into Zombie Vampire. So as long as Zombie Vampire's on the field, he cannot be, neither person can target him with any effects used by summon monsters unless they are from the graveyard. So we're going to detach a material, and what happens is both you and your opponent must mill the top 4 cards from your deck, and if a monster is either one of them, you can special summon it. So we've got our own deck to work with, so we're going to go ahead and mill 4. So we have a Dragon Shrine, Sage, Draco Connection, and a Blue-Eyes Jet Dragon. Okay, so we don't know what our opponent has, but we're going to assume we're going to go ahead and special summon the Sage with Eyes of Blue. He's a tuner, and Blue-Eyes Jet Dragon is going to stay in the grave. Because we have a Blue-Eyes Jet Dragon in the grave, what happens is if your opponent were to destroy any of your cards, he's going to special summon himself to the grave anyway, so he's going to stay where he is. So he is a tuner. Well, okay, if we want, let's go ahead and, well, we can link off. So we're going to link off into, let's link off into, now we can do Predaplan Anaconda if we want to, because we have 2 Blue-Eyes monsters in the grave. So you could use this effect with Ultimate Fusion to the grave and bring in a Blue-Eyes Tyrant, but we are going first. So I'm going to go into the Needle Fiber play again. And the effect, we're supposed to summon a tuner. So let's go ahead and get out a White Stone of the Ancients. Just, you know, because if it goes to the graveyard, we're going to get the effect anyway. And let's see here. Okay, we have our Chaos Dragon Lavineer. So we have a combination of both. So we're going to banish Sage Dictator because it's a dark. And, well, okay, we got some choices to make here. So let's go ahead and banish the Blue-Eyes White Dragon, because if we do get our Blue-Eyes White Dragon to the grave, Blue-Eyes Jet is still going to have its effect. So, okay, so we have our Chaos Dragon Lavineer. And we're just going to leave it for our opponent's turn. So when our opponent has their turn, we're going to use the effect of Needle Fiber. We're going to banish it. I'm sorry. We're going to get out the Formula Synchron. So once per chain, we can draw a card. Ooh, we got our egg. And we are going to sync off Formula Synchron with the Chaos Dragon Lavineer into the Baron de Fleur. So we have a negate, we have a powerful monster that has good protections, and if our opponent were to slam into this egg, we will get the effect of it in the end phase. So you can definitely go ahead and use it to summon Blue-Eyes White Dragon or the Blue-Eyes Abyss. So yes, and in our next turn we have a Warlord Legacy Guard Dragon. So if it goes to the grave, Blue-Eyes White Dragon, use it to revive it back. You can sync off, you can go into more plays. It's just amazing. Okay, so let's try one more. Okay, let's try one more. Good old shuffle. Okay, so we have Sacred Eyes of Blue, Foolish Burial, Dictator, Melody, Blue-Eyes Jet. Oh boy, okay, this is really, really good. Now, we don't want Blue-Eyes Jet Dragon in our hand, so we're going to use this as the cost for the Melody. So let's just get a Blue-Eyes Alt, Blue-Eyes White Dragon. Okay. So we can use the effect to special summon our Blue-Eyes Alt by revealing Blue-Eyes White Dragon. Okay. Now we got a Foolish Burial. Okay, now you can use this to send an egg to your grave. You can also use this to send the Spiral Dragon to the grave. So let's see here. I am going to special summon Dictator. Let's get some more monsters on the field before really going to more options here. So we're going to send a Blue-Eyes White Dragon from the deck to the grave. So he comes out. Now, if we really want to, we can send this one to the grave to special summon him out, go into overlay plays, go into some link plays. But let's normal summon Sage because we like to get a tuner here, and once he's special summoned, we can go ahead and add an egg. Okay, and Foolish Burial. Let's go ahead and send. Let's see, we have. Let's go ahead and send the egg, because we haven't done many fusion plays here yet, so we're going to get the last Blue Eyes White Dragon into our hand. Okay, so Foolish Burial is used. Okay, so we have 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons and 1 Whitestone of Legend. So, okay, we can use the other effect of Dictator, so we can send a Blue Eyes Dragon to the grave and special summon 1 from the grave. So, alright, now we can sync off, we can link off, we can overlay. This is just ridiculous. So, we can also use the effect of, okay, no, we didn't use the spiral. We used the egg. Alright. So, okay, if we really, really want to, we can use these 2 to go into the Predator Plant, or we can use it to go into the Needle Fiber. The Needle Fiber will essentially result into the Baron de Fleur in the next turn, or we can go ahead and use the Anaconda to send the Ultimate Fusion because we have a Blue Eyes White Dragon in our field and the grave, so we can shuffle them back into the deck for a Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate, or the Blue Eyes Tyrant. We can overlay into the Vampire. So yes, this gives us the option for a lot. So, okay, just for the giggles though, let's go ahead, link off into Predator Plant Anaconda. And we're going to use the effect to send my nice proxy to the grave. So we are going to shuffle these 2 and 3 into, and we're going to get out the big boy. 4,500 beatstick, can't be targeted or destroyed. And because we use that Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon as a material, he can destroy 3 cards. And if your opponent happens to have cards in their field anyway, the effect of Ultimate Fusion allows you to destroy 3, the number of cards that you use for the fusion material. So this is what I mean. If this was our second turn, this would allow us to pop 6 cards. We'll shuffle. And as an alternative, say if it was still our second turn, okay, we could have overlaid, imagine we had him, but we could have overlaid into Lancelot, for example. He can attack directly, so when you attack directly, because he's an XC monster that battled, overlay into Divine Arsenal Zeus, detach materials, send everything to the grave, and he can still attack. So, and our next draw would have been another Blue Eyes White Dragon. So yes, this is some of the crazy combos you can do with this. Lots of options. So yeah, I hope you have fun with this deck. I'm sure you can find other things you can do with it, other ways you can chain it off, and I still have no regrets with adding the, where are you, Free Ram. Because I was doing some combos earlier and normal summon him, target, and give them piercing. So yes. Anyway, I hope this demonstration has helped you out. So as always, remember to be a good sport, to play the game, not the fame.